This is a time to rest, to realign, to redirect, to change, to shed old parts of ourselves. Ooh, my nails are cute. Wait. Oh my gosh, they're even cuter than I thought. Wait, they look even cuter on camera. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Munira. I am 26 years old and I'm a Gemini sun. It's taken me a minute to record this video because the sun has not been out because it's winter time and I just haven't felt like it. The lighting hasn't been right, my mood hasn't been right, so I've been waiting a long time to record this. But I'm so excited because this is a topic that I feel really strongly about. We're gonna talk about New Year's Day, New Year's resolutions, all of those things that come with the new year, aka the Gregorian calendar year. So as we all know, it is 2024, which is amazing. I'm so glad that all of us made it to 2024. We're all safe and sound, hopefully. Traditionally, this is a time when all of us are coming up with New Year's resolutions. We are defining our goals for the year, the things we want to accomplish, and we're starting to take action. For the past 3 or 4 years, I've started to realize that it's kind of weird how our calendar New Year is right in the beginning of winter, a time when we are reflecting and hibernating and shedding. Nature is in a completely different space than we are right now. The leaves are falling off the trees, the animals are hibernating, and it's super, super cold. Everything kind of looks a little lifeless, a little naked and bare. Yet here we are as human beings who are a part of nature, as much as we like to forget it, and we are taking action and putting in all this work and completely switching up our lives in the dead of winter. It would be a good idea to observe what nature is doing at this time. I really think that the Gregorian calendar year was created to sabotage us. I think it was used as a way to disconnect us from our bodies. We're not really in tune with ourselves. We're not in tune with nature, and it keeps us a little off track. We're not grounded and we're not really in flow with the rest of nature and the rest of the energy. Winter is a time to let go, it's a time to reflect, it's a time to reassess, and it's kind of like a waiting period. We're waiting before everything starts to bloom in spring and, really blossom. So why are we putting so much pressure on ourselves to perform, to change, to pivot? This is actually the time that we should be reflecting. This is the time when we should be looking back on 2023 and asking ourselves, okay, what worked? What didn't? With Thanksgiving and Christmas, I don't really mess with Thanksgiving, but back to back, there's really not much time in between that to actually reflect on the new year. So why are you rushing to come up with these New Year's resolutions? And why are you rushing to implement them when in reality, there's no rush? Those things don't really need to be implemented until spring or around that time. Now, I'm not saying that if you already know what you want, if you already know what your goals are, and if you already have an idea of what you desire out of this year, I'm not saying that you can't go ahead and begin. You can't create a plan, you can't take action. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if you don't have that figured out, it's okay. And it's really quite normal. I think New Year's Eve should be a time to let go. It should almost be like a death and rebirth type of situation. Like, what is ending? What are we leaving in the past? And the whole time though, like all of January really should be a time of just reflecting and kind of discarding what no longer serves us, discarding what elements of ourselves that we no longer resonate with, or what people we no longer resonate with. If you, like me, are not necessarily aware of what you want to do with 2024 and what you want to implement and what you really want to focus on, give yourself some grace, cut yourself some slack, and understand that you were actually in flow with the universe and the rest of nature. For me right now, I feel like I'm in this period of really just sitting with my emotions and processing all of my thoughts. So much happened, and if January me of last year met January me of this year, and we had a conversation, me from last year would be so shocked to hear about what had happened in 2023. I just need some time to actually understand like what happened and to get more aligned with what it is I actually want this year, because I have a lot of big goals. A lot of people have been talking about it this year, year 8, 2024, which is ruled by Saturn. It feels like it's going to have a big impact on everyone's life. It feels like a pivot year, and I really want to take advantage of it, but I also want to make sure that I am, going in the right direction. And also I'm a life path 8, so I just feel like super aligned with this year. I feel like everything that has happened up until this point was meant to happen so that I could experience this year fully and fully immerse myself. This is kind of like that make it or break it year. I feel like a lot of people are like, okay, if I don't do this now, I'm never gonna do it. If I don't do this now, it's never gonna happen. And who wants to live a life filled with regret, I really advise many of you to carve out some time during January or February. I would really say once a week leading up to spring or until you get clarity, and carve out some time to sit with yourself, to meditate, to journal, to do some type of release, some type of ritual to release whatever you no longer want to come with you this year. And ask yourself the tough questions. Ask yourself what is aligning with you and what isn't. What's no longer working for you or serving you? What are you being called to do? Who are you being called to speak to? What version of yourself are you being called to step into? And be honest. Especially if it's just you and you, there's no reason to not be honest with yourself. If you aren't honest with yourself, you're probably not being honest with other people, and you can't really create deep connections when honesty is not involved. Take all this time to reflect, to think, to feel, to process, so you can step into that being and that version of yourself by the time spring arrives. There's this creator, journalbymoon. She creates really thought-provoking journal prompts and just in general prompts that you don't normally think about, and it really helps you address what's going on within. Right now, I'm releasing, I'm reinventing myself, I am changing my perspective about things and really giving myself the space to change. Sometimes we get so locked into how we've always been that we really don't give ourselves the space to change and grow and evolve. And sometimes you're around a group of people who also don't allow you to change and grow because they are looking at you from this specific perspective, from this person that you were in one moment of time, and they don't really give you the space to outgrow that. And maybe that means that you're outgrowing those people, and this is something to consider when you're taking that time to reflect on who's around you, what your environment is like, how you're behaving. These are all things that will come up when you take that time to reflect and sit with yourself and reevaluate who you are, how your life is going, and what's going on around you. My new year and a lot of other people's New Year's is actually during spring equinox, which is on March 19th of this year. That is when the flowers will begin to bloom again. The sun will start to come out a little more, and the trees will start to get leaves and flowers. Spring is the time when everything is blooming, and it's only natural for us as human beings to also start to bloom during this time. Between now and mid-March, take all the time you need. There is no reason to rush yourself. That rushing is the reason why so many people can't actually fulfill their New Year's resolutions, because they feel like, if I don't have my New Year's resolution set by New Year's or like the first week, I'm already far behind. I'm already failing. And how am I supposed to have a great year if I'm already far behind? Baby, you're not far behind. You are not far behind. You are right on time. You need more time to reflect? Go reflect. You need more time to figure out what you want? Take that time. There's no rush. Rushing yourself is only going to make you go in the wrong direction, and that's just going to delay your blessings and your desires. The rushing is like resistance. You are resisting what you actually want. You're resisting the natural flow of your body, of the universe, and of life force. There's no need to do that. Stop acting like you're ready for 2024 when you're not. The only thing you need to do is be ready to surrender. Surrender to what's no longer serving you. Surrender to receiving the truth and information that you need to make decisions about this year, to structure your goals for this year, and to prepare yourself for the actions that will come once you get clear on what you want. Again, if you are already aware of what you want, that is awesome, that is amazing, and you can act. But many of us, I know, are not ready to act. We are still processing, we are still figuring things out, and I just wanted to make this video so that you know that it's okay. You're not behind, there's not something wrong with you. You are actually in alignment, and it will get better. You will gain clarity. You will start to feel like taking action. It's only natural. So stop forcing yourself to change on New Year's Day. You're only setting yourself up for failure, especially if you're not ready. And no one wants you to fail this year. I don't want you to fail. God doesn't want you to fail. We want to see you win. Take your time to figure out what it is that you even want and who you want to bring with you, and then take that action, okay? Okay, I'm talking to myself too. There was a time when, I was following the Gregorian calendar year, making sure that I was on track with the rest of society. However, as I've started to become more spiritual and really connect with nature and ground myself, I have just started to move a little bit differently. And so spring equinox, the astrological new year, that is my new year. And I really hope that you consider that moving forward in your life for next year and the following year. And even if you're not considering that as your new year, I hope this brings you some reassurance that it's okay to not have everything figured out at this moment in time, because it will get figured out. I promise, you have time. That's really all I wanted to discuss. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, all of that good stuff. If it resonated with you, send this to someone who may be rushing themselves or pushing too hard and who might need a little bit of reassurance at this time that it's okay to slow down and take a pause until you know exactly where you're going and you know exactly what you want for yourself. I love you all. Have a beautiful day or beautiful night whenever you're watching this, and I will be chatting with you all soon. I love you, I love you, I love you.